There are three grocery bills that a significant number of Americans on Social Security are paying every single month, and they are legally not required to. The government set up programs specifically to cover them. They are completely free. They take about 15 minutes to apply for. And for the people who actually use them, it results in saving $200, $300, even $400 or more every single month in grocery expenses they should never have been paying in the first place. Before we get into exactly how, subscribe right now and hit the bell. The rules around these programs change constantly. When they change, the government does not send you a personal explanation. Subscribers find out in time. The ones who are not find out after the deadline, after the enrollment window closed, after the money is already gone. Stay with me until the end. The three grocery bills we are talking about today fall under three separate federal programs. The first is SNAP with senior special rules, the second is the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, and the third is the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. All three are free, all three are operated by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and all three are available at fns.usda.gov. If you have never applied for any of these, it takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes to get started, and most people who are eligible have never been told they qualify. Here is why these programs have the potential to change what you pay at the grocery store every single month. I want to explain this clearly because it is the part most people do not understand. Most people assume these programs are just for people who are unemployed or extremely low income. That assumption is wrong, and it is costing seniors real money. Let us start with SNAP and the Senior Special Rules, because this is the biggest one and the most misunderstood. Here is the key thing. Seniors age 60 and older are not subject to the same income rules that apply to everyone else. For a standard household, SNAP requires you to pass both a gross income test and a net income test. But if you are 60 or older, or if someone in your household is, you only need to pass the net income test. That is a completely different standard. Net income means your gross income after allowable deductions are subtracted, and the deductions for seniors are significant. According to the USDA, a senior household can deduct a standard $209 from their monthly income automatically. On top of that, any medical expenses over $35 per month prescriptions, doctor visits, dental bills, health insurance premiums, transportation to medical appointments can be deducted as well. And for shelter costs that exceed half of adjusted income, there is no cap on the deduction for senior households, while all other households are capped at $744. Run those numbers correctly, and many seniors who believe they make too much actually qualify. Here's the math on what that means. According to current USDA allotment tables, a single-person household can receive up to $298 per month in SNAP benefits. For a two-person household, that maximum rises to $546 per month. At $298 a month, that is $3,576 a year in grocery support. Over a 20-year retirement, that is $71,520 in food costs covered. For two people, over 2 decades, it is $130,920. That is not a small number. That is a retirement-defining number, quietly sitting unclaimed. And here is the part that makes it worse, the second layer that almost nobody talks about. Because SNAP benefits are recalculated each October based on updated poverty guidelines and cost of living adjustments, seniors who do not recertify or do not update their deductions when their expenses change are leaving an increasing amount on the table over time. Medical costs tend to rise as people age. Shelter costs tend to rise as property taxes increase. Each of those increases expands the allowable deduction, which means your SNAP benefit can grow over time if you keep your case properly updated. The benefit does not stay flat. It can compound in your favor, but only if you take action. The second program, the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, is one most people have genuinely never heard of. This is a federal program that delivers a monthly package of nutritious food directly to qualifying seniors age 60 and older with incomes at or below 130% of the federal poverty level. No application complexity, no grocery store required. The USDA distributes the food through local agencies, and in several states it is delivered to your door. These food packages include items like canned goods, cereals, dairy products, and proteins, real groceries with real dollar value. The third program, the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, provides eligible seniors with benefit cards ranging from $50 to $80 depending on the state to purchase fresh fruits, vegetables, honey, and herbs directly from farmers markets, roadside stands, and community farms. It is not available in every state, but for the states that participate, it is entirely unused by the majority of people who qualify. Here is the villain in this story. The USDA does not find these benefits for you. There is no automatic review, no alert, no letter when you become eligible. The programs exist, the money is allocated, and unless you apply, those benefits sit there unclaimed. No review, no alert, no letter year after year. The system is not broken. It simply was not designed to come to you. You have to go to it. Who is most likely to be affected by these three programs? Seniors receiving only Social Security income. This is the largest group who miss SNAP eligibility because they assume Social Security disqualifies them. It does not. With the correct deductions applied, medical costs, shelter expenses, many Social Security-only households fall well within the net income threshold and qualify for meaningful monthly benefits. Seniors who had income in their working years but are now retired, many people who earned moderate wages during their careers, assume they are too well off for food assistance. But retirement income is different from earned income. The deduction structure for seniors is significantly more favorable, and the net income test creates eligibility for households that would never have qualified while they were working. Seniors living alone in their own home, single-person senior households often have high shelter costs relative to their fixed income. Because there is no deduction cap on excess shelter costs for senior households, a single senior with a modest mortgage or rising rent can dramatically reduce their countable net income, sometimes enough to unlock $247 to $298 per month in SNAP benefits they had no idea they were owed. Seniors with recurring medical expenses, prescription costs, specialist visits, dental work, hearing aids, transportation to appointments, all of these are deductible under SNAP's excess medical expense rule if they exceed $35 per month. For seniors managing chronic conditions, this deduction alone can create eligibility where none appeared to exist before. Widows and widowers who recently lost a spouse's income. When a spouse passes away, household income often drops significantly, while fixed expenses like rent, utilities, and prescriptions remain the same or increase. This is frequently the moment eligibility begins, and the moment most people do not know to check. Seniors in rural areas near farmers markets or roadside stands, the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program is specifically designed for this group. If you live in a participating state and there is a farmers market or approved roadside vendor within driving distance, a benefit card worth $50 to $80 per season is available to you, and enrollment is almost always underused in rural counties. Here is a real example of what this looks like. A woman who worked as a school cafeteria aide in a Georgia County school district throughout the 1990s retired at age 67 with a monthly Social Security check of $1,143. She was paying out of pocket for 3 prescription medications and a quarterly specialist visit. She assumed SNAP was for people who were unemployed, not for someone who had worked for 30 years and owned her home outright. A volunteer at her local senior center walked her through the SNAP senior net income calculation. After subtracting her standard deduction, her excess medical costs of $187 per month above the $35 threshold, and her property tax shelter deduction, her net income came in well below the qualifying limit. She was also enrolled in the Commodity Supplemental Food Program through the same county agency, which began delivering a monthly food box to her door. Her grocery bill dropped by $347 every single month for the rest of her life. She had lived in the same house for 19 years, paid taxes her entire career, and had no idea that $347 was sitting there unclaimed until a volunteer sat down with her and ran the actual numbers. The programs did not change. The rules did not change. The only thing that changed was that someone finally explained it to her. So, here is exactly what to do. Step 1, go to the benefits screener, visit benefitschecker.acl.gov, or go directly to fns.usda.gov and use the SNAP pre-screening tool. This is free, takes about 8 minutes, and will tell you whether your household is likely to qualify based on your age, income, household size, and expenses. You do not need to commit to anything at this stage. Step 2, gather your deduction documentation. Before you apply, collect your most recent monthly bills, prescription receipts, or pharmacy printouts, health insurance premium statements, utility bills, rent or mortgage statements, and property tax records. These are the documents that determine your net income, which is the number that actually matters for senior SNAP eligibility. Step 3, contact your state SNAP office. Go to fns.usda.gov/SNAP/state directory to find your state's specific application portal, phone number, or local office address. Every state has a different process. Some states allow full online applications. Others require a phone interview. In many states, an authorized representative can apply on your behalf if you have mobility or transportation limitations. Step 4, apply for CSFP at the same time. During your SNAP inquiry, ask your state contact whether your county participates in the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. If it does, the income threshold is 130% of the federal poverty level for age 60-plus households, and the application is handled through the same local USDA network. You can often be screened for both programs in a single call. Step 5 checks FMNP eligibility for your state. Visit fns.usda.gov/sfmnp/Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program and use the state contact search to find whether your state participates. If it does, the income threshold is 185% of the federal poverty level for age 60 and older. Call your state contact and request an application. Enrollment periods are seasonal in most states, so ask specifically about the next enrollment window. Step 6, set a reminder to recertify and update deductions annually. SNAP certification periods for seniors are typically 24 months, but your benefit amount can change each October when poverty guidelines update. Every time your medical costs increase or your shelter costs rise, your net income deduction increases, which means your benefit amount can go up. Put a reminder in your calendar every 12 months to call your caseworker and report updated expenses. Here is something most people do not know. Your state SNAP agency can process your application going back to the date you submitted it, not the date they approve it. So even if the review takes 3 to 4 weeks, you receive benefits calculated from your original submission date. That means do not wait to submit first. Gather remaining documents after. Most people spend more time comparing prices between 2 cereal brands at the grocery store than they have ever spent reviewing the federal programs that determine how much of that grocery bill they actually have to pay for the rest of their lives. And every month that passes without checking, the gap does not close on its own, it stays exactly where it is, quietly costing you $247, $347, sometimes more, month after month, year after year. This is worth 15 minutes. Go to fns.usda.gov, use the SNAP pre-screening tool, write down your monthly medical and shelter expenses, and contact your state SNAP office. If something qualifies, apply that same day. If you are already on SNAP and have not updated your medical deductions recently, call your caseworker this week. That is the whole thing. The programs are funded. The eligibility rules favor seniors. The only missing piece is the action. Subscribe, share this with someone you know who is on Social Security or approaching retirement. The 5 minutes you spend today could change every single check and every single grocery bill for the rest of their life.